in chapter 6, we have graphed. We have looked for where the lines cross. We have eliminated. No, we haven't eliminated. We're doing that today. We have substituted. So Friday was solve for x or y and put it in the other equation, right? Today we are eliminating. I don't know how you, eliminating is personally my favorite depending on the situation, if it's set up nicely for it. I don't know how you guys feel about elimination, but we'll find out once you remember it, right? So elimination works better when you don't have an x equals or y equals equation. And when the equations look more like this, what you're seeing on here, which is more standard form, this is when elimination works, when you have like x, like our first one, there's a 5x minus 6y, there's a 3x plus 6y. So we have x's and y's lined up. That's what makes elimination work. Now, we're going to eliminate one of the variables. And our first example is already set up. What are we already set up to eliminate when we put these equations together? X or y? Which one has the same variable? Or the
Y.
Same number? It has the y does, right? So, yeah. We have both of the y's are 6y. So when I ask which variable do we want to eliminate, look for the letter that has the same numbers in front of them. So 6y and 6y. Now, this one's even better because what do you notice about the signs in front of the 6y's?
They're the same.
They're not the same, which is what we want. I prefer that I have a positive and a negative. Because what happens when I add a positive 6y and a negative 6y? They cancel to be 0. Or if you grab your calculator and do 6 plus negative 6, it is 0. So what I'm going to teach you, if you have pieces where the variables are the same, right? 6y, 6y, and they are opposite signs. So a positive and negative. All we're going to do is add the equations together.
That's it.
Well, that's this to get started. Okay, so what is, and we add like terms with like terms, right?
Yeah.
What is 5x plus 3x?
It's 8.
Okay.
I was thinking you had
5x plus 3x is 8x.
equals.
What is negative 6y plus 6y?
Yeah.
Well,
Negative and positive are going to cancel each other out. Because when you add a negative and a positive, you're essentially subtracting. They're 0, they cancel each other out. I'm going to carry down my equal sign. And what is negative 32 plus 48?
6.
Not 6.
16.
16. Now,
divide by 8.
yeah, if it's 8x equals 16, solve the equation. If it's 8 times x, you guys know to divide by 8.
that's
I say, yeah, you know this part. 8x divided by 8 is
X.
x. 16 divided by 8?
2.
2.
Oh, I didn't even write this
And
down.
then do you pick one to put the X in?
Okay, so my question was just going to be, am I done? If you think about 6-1 and 6-2, what did our answers always look like?
Does it matter which one you put the X in?
It's always an ordered pair, so we're looking for an x and a y. Okay, so right now, what do I know about my answer? I know my answer is 2 comma blank, yes? That's what I know at this exact moment. Now, rather than on the right track, we're going to take, and this is just what we did Friday, right? You take this 2, and you put it in place of x in whichever equation makes you happier.
Would it come out the same?
It will come out the same if done correctly. So I could pick the top equation, Rylan can pick the bottom equation, and we should still get the same answer. Should be the key phrase. Okay? Now, I was going to pick the bottom one to go through with the class. Well, okay, actually I should ask you guys. Which equation makes you happier that you want to use?
Bottom.
The bottom? Probably because it has no negatives?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we take the bottom equation, and we plug in the 2. So we're going to do 3x, except what is x?
2.
2. Plus 6y
So that's what you
equals 48.
And 3 times 2 is 6.
Okay? 3 times 2 is 6.
2 times 6.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. 3 times 2 is 6. Now I have 6 plus 6y equals 48. How do I solve for y? Yeah. I can't add 6 and 6y. They're not like terms. So how do I move a positive 6 to the other side?
You
Subtract the 6. 6 minus 6 will cancel. 6y equals 48 minus 6 is
2.
about 42.
I was thinking, you know what I mean.
Same, I know. This is the same mistake you made earlier when you were subtracting up there. Or not necessarily a mistake, but you just didn't give the other part. Okay, 6y equals 42. What do we do here?
Divide.
Divide by 6. And y is
7.
7.
We can check mine.
Did you get 7?
Mm-hmm.
Then you did it right. Because what are we supposed to get here? The same answer. So it doesn't matter the order of steps, which steps you do versus, if you do something slightly different from your neighbor, as long as you've both done it correctly, it works. Does that sound a little familiar?
Yep. It's just a lot of stuff.
It is. I mean, we've got to work with it.
It's not that bad. In my opinion. It's not.
Okay. We ready to try the next one?
Yeah.
And I'm going to backtrack real quick and say, okay, what did we do here? Here we eliminated the y's, right? Not that you have to write that down, but just, for the record, we eliminated y's. Okay? Well, look at the one next to it. 3x plus 3y equals negative 9. 3x minus 4y equals 5. Why would you pick the x's? Okay. Okay. We want to eliminate the x's because they're both 3x's, yes?
Yeah.
Now, so for that reason, I'm going to pick to eliminate, there we go, the x's. Sorry, I had spelling issues there. Now, what's the catch? Last time, I had negative 6y, positive 6y. Put them together. Just add them together. Piece of cake. What happens here if I add 3x and 3x? 3x plus 3x? Does that really cancel out? No, not if they're the same sign. 3x plus 3x would be 6x. Do I want 6x? No. And so we need to change the signs on one of the problems. Okay? I'm trying to think how you've been taught in the past. Does Mrs. Rogers teach you to multiply one of the equations by a negative? Do we know?
I don't know. I think it's your.
Well, this would have been back in December, so
Well,
before you ever had me. Okay.
I missed it. That was too long ago.
Okay. Because these are both 3x's, they're both positive. Right now they have the same sign. We want them to have the opposite sign. And so we're going to multiply one of these equations by a negative. Doesn't matter which. I personally would do the bottom. If I multiply by a negative, what happens when you multiply by a negative? What happens when we multiply by the negative? All the signs will flip, yes? So a positive 3x becomes a negative 3x. A minus 4y becomes
A plus.
plus 4y. A 5 becomes minus 5. So that's my recommendation. That way we can still add these two equations together. Okay? We can multiply that by negative. Just pick one of your equations and change all the signs, basically. And now we're adding them together. What's 3x plus negative 3x?
0.
That's 0. That's the ones that are canceling out, yes? What's 3y plus, and that is now positive 4y. What's 3y plus 4y? 7y. And then carrying down your equal sign. Negative 9 plus negative 5.
Negative.
Did you throw on the team there at the end? Negative 9 plus negative 5 is negative 14.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, they're
Oh.
I said 14.
Okay.
4.
Okay. I didn't realize it came from two different people. That's why I was confused. Negative 9 plus negative 5. They're both negative, so add them and keep the sign. Okay, you don't need me on the next step.
Oh, you just divide.
Divide by 7.
And then the 7 and 7 cross out with y equals. And you got 14 divided by 7 is 4 2.
14 divided by 7 is 2, and negative divided by a positive is a negative.
But you're not done.
So my y value is negative 2, which means what I know right now, my answer is something, comma, negative 2. How do I find something? Take this negative 2 and do what?
Add it.
Put it back into
I got it.
one of the original equations, right? So I'm personally going to pick the top one so I don't have to worry about what my signs change to be. I'm going to say 3x plus 3 times y, which is negative 2, equals negative 9.
Well, okay, well, 3 times 3 is 9x.
Whoa. I'm not, no. 3x. What's 3 times negative 2?
Same thing.
Negative 6.
Negative 6. So I'm going to write that as 3x minus 6 equals negative 9. If it's 3x minus 6, we're going to add 6. Minus 6 plus 6 cancels.
Makes it negative 3.
Negative 9 plus 6 is negative 3. If 3x equals negative 3,
Divide equals negative 1.
divide by 3, and x is negative 1.
I need to write that. I don't know why it keeps missing.
Excuse me.
Alright, got it. So it should be negative 1, comma, negative 2.
Make sure you guys get the order right in these tonight. Okay. Okay, next one. 3x plus y equals 7. 2x minus 2y equals negative 6. What do you notice here?
They're different. Their signs are different. Their numbers are different.
Are the numbers all different this time?
Yes, and plus, There's a y by itself.
Okay. I have 3x and 2x, so my x's don't have the same numbers. I have y and negative 2y, so my y's don't have the same numbers. So this is where we have to multiply one or both equations by something to make them be the same.
I would say the top one by 2, but then you have 2y and 2y.
Okay, that's the idea I like there. And it's not the only way to do it, but the more obvious way here, or easier way, is we have a 1y and a negative 2y. If I take 1 and multiply it by 2, we'll be able to eliminate there. So, I'm going to bring this down here. Multiply with me.
So 3 times 2 is 6x plus y equals 7.
Well, we got to multiply everything by 2, so 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times y is?
2y, and 2 7 is 14.
Okay, 2y equals 14. Now, bottom equation, I'm not changing this time. It's going to stay 2x minus 2y equals negative 6. Am I set up to eliminate a variable now?
Yes.
Yeah. My x's are different, but my y's are the same. So I'm going to eliminate the y's. My y's have opposite signs, a positive and negative, so I'm going to add. What's
6 plus 2?
6x plus 2x?
8.
8x.
And then your
2y plus negative 2y?
4. You get a 4.
No. They're opposite signs. What's a positive 2 and a negative 2?
That's a pause. 0.
0. When you add a positive and a negative together, they're the same. They're going to cancel out. And then what's 14 plus negative 6?
14.
I think you're going the wrong way.
Wait.
If it's 14 plus negative 6, you basically need to subtract them.
So it's 14, 13, 9, 8.
There we go.
So you divide from there.
If it's 8x equals 8, we're going to divide by 8.
And then that comes as 1. So x equals 1 right there. That was easy. But you're not done.
Yeah. Now, pick an equation. I would always use one of the originals and plug that value back in. So, honestly, the easiest thing, if you want to, would be to use this equation here, the 3x plus y equals 7. So 3 times 1 plus y equals 7. Not saying you'd have to use this one, but this would be easiest.
Well, we're going to go with up equals.
Okay. 3 times 1 is
3.
3 plus y equals 7.
And then you subtract the 7. That's
3.
If it's 3 plus y, we're going to subtract 3. And y is 7 minus 3, which is 4. Is that what I heard you say?
I did it differently.
But did you get 4?
Yeah, I got 4. So the one that we remade,
Uh-huh.
the top one that we had by 2, I put the 1 in for that.
That's fine. Yep. Yeah, you can use any of the equations as long as they're valid equations. How do I write my answer?
1, 4,
Okay. X comma y, so 1 comma 4. Okay, guys. We're working our way up the ladder. The first two, we could add them as is. The second one, we had to multiply one of them by a negative. We had to change the signs to add them. This one, we had to multiply one of them by a number, so we multiplied by 2. What about this next one?
They're all different.
They're all different.
You have to multiply both by
Yeah.
And I
1 by 2
just-
1 by 3.
In this one, we are going to be multiplying both equations by something. Think like if you're getting a common denominator. What can 4 and 3 both go into? Or what can 3 and 2 both go into?
I was thinking the top one by 2, the bottom one by 3.
By 3?
Yeah, the bottom by 3 and the top by 2.
Okay. So if we use 2 and 3, what's he trying to get the same? He's trying to get these 3 y's to be the same. What did I?
I don't know why I did that.
This is why I really want the phones back there, because you guys are too tempted to just grab them out of your pocket randomly.
I just grabbed it.
Now, 3y and 2y, okay? I like the idea of making them the same because, 1, they're the smaller 2 numbers, right?
That's better.
And I like the fact that they have the opposite signs already. There's already a plus and a minus, which makes it a good idea here. So, basically, multiply the top equation by 2, the bottom equation by 3. And that's because 2 times 3 is 6. So, let's do the multiplication. I think I'm just going to put it right over here. Okay, top equation multiplied by 2 becomes, I got 8x, your turn, plus
2 times 3, 6.
6y equals 2 times negative 19. I'll take that one, negative 38. Bottom row, this time we're multiplying by 3. 3 times 3x, your turn.
6.
Try again.
9.
9x. 3 times minus 2y, I'll take this one. It's going to be minus 6y, keep the minus sign there, 3 times 2, equals 3 times negative 10. Your turn.
Negative 30.
Negative 30. Now, we set ourselves up for opposite signs, didn't we?
Yeah.
If we didn't, we'd have to multiply by a negative. Okay. 8x plus 9x.
8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 17, 18, 17.
How about 17x?
That's what I got.
Okay. Positive 6y and minus 6y will cancel. Equals negative 38 and negative 30 is negative 68.
My turn. Divide.
David's favorite step. Divide by 17. Does that mean you're going to tell me what negative 68 divided by 17 is as well?
17.
This is where you're supposed to have the calculator at your desk, guys.
Hold on.
Negative divided by a positive is a negative. There are 4 17s in 68.
So, or you're not done because you have to add the 4 up to the
Yeah.
first whatever we did. Yeah.
Right now, I know my answer. Negative 4 comma something. Pick a problem. And I will say, guys, I would never use these equations we just made with bigger numbers. I'd always go back to one of the original 2. It makes the numbers a little bit easier. I don't know. I'm trying to think which one you guys would pick. Would you guys pick the top one?
I didn't choose any.
Doesn't matter. If I pick the top one.
To a decimal.
I don't think so. 4 times negative 4 plus 3y equals negative 19. Nope, no decimal. Recheck your math. So, 4 times negative 4 is
16.
negative 16 plus 3y
That's not. Oops, I did.
equals negative 19. How do I move the negative 16 to the other side? If it's negative 16, I'm going to add 16.
And then you,
So those cancel. I have 3y. Negative 19 plus 16 is negative 3. And we're going to divide by 3. Negative 3 divided by 3 is, more specifically, negative 1. Final answer of negative 4, comma, negative 1.
Oh.
Now, the bottom two are kind of special cases, but I need to take you through them to show them to you real quick. They won't take as long as these others, I don't think. What do you notice about this next example? Negative 2x plus 5y equals 7, negative 2x plus 5y equals 12.
Everything's the same size to the end.
Okay, what'd you say? Okay, yeah. We've got the same pieces, the ends are different, right? So really, it doesn't matter if you pick to eliminate x's or y's. What I would say, notice if I'm eliminating x's, they're both negatives. If I'm eliminating y's, they're both positives, aren't they? So go through and change your signs. Multiply that bottom, or the top, by a negative. If we multiply by a negative, this becomes positive 2x minus 5y and minus 12, correct? And now let's add them and see what happens in this special case.
Well, now you can pick it.
That's gonna be
Well, what is negative 2x plus 2x?
for the upright.
No. Negative 2 plus positive 2? If I have a negative 2 and a positive 2, when I add those together, they're going to cancel to be
Oh, so 0.
0.
Oh, 5 times. You
5y plus negative 5y.
toss out
They're going to cancel out. What remains on the left side?
equals 7.
No. Nothing on the left side. What is 7 plus negative 12? 7 plus negative 12 is
5.
negative 5. Here's the deal. It's not 0, is it?
No.
Is this a true statement?
No.
No. If your variables cancel out and you are left with a false statement, this is no solution. Now, we're going to have a similar thing happen on this next one.
Well, there's no activity.
Huh?
So I was talking myself.
Okay. What do you guys want to eliminate here?
You can't. They're not even the same, and they're both the
Right, but so we have to set ourselves up to eliminate something.
I would just say the bottom one because you can multiply it by 4, and you both do negative 4 is what I would say.
Anastasia Solis to the high school office. Anastasia Solis to the high school office.
Okay, so hold on. The idea here, I would have said, how do I get 8y and 2y to be the same? And I can multiply. Hold on. Let me talk here. If I would have said, how do we get 8y and 2y to be the same? Then the easy answer is 2 times 4 is 8. If you wanted to ask about the x's, how would you get 3 and 12 the same? Well, I could do 3 times 4. So either way, we can multiply by 4. I would recommend, because the signs are already the same, to get the signs the opposite, multiply by negative 4 is what I would suggest. And so look at what happens. I'm going to keep my top equation the same. 12x minus 8y equals 20. And I'm going to multiply my bottom one by negative 4.
Here's a negative 12x
Negative 12x
plus 8y
plus 8y
equals negative 20.
equals
But
negative
everything
20.
cancels out.
Okay, so when I go to add these two equations, 12x plus negative 12x is 0. Negative 8y plus 8y is
0,
0. 20 plus negative 20,
0.
0.
So there's no identity.
Now, hold on. This one's different from last time. Last time there's no solution because we came up with a false statement. Our x and y canceled out, and and 0 does not equal negative 5.
0 equals
So because it was a false statement, we had to say no solution. 0 does equal 0, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that actually means there is a solution, and it actually means there are a lot of solutions. And so this is what we call infinitely many solutions.
So would you just rewrite it to 0?
So when your x and y cancel out, and you're left with a true statement, we're going to say infinitely many solutions. Where you're left with a false statement, you're going to say no solution.
I bet there's going to be one of each on the test.
I don't know about on the test, the review worksheet possibly. Although I just made the review worksheet over the weekend, but I don't remember because I haven't done the answer key yet. Okay, your homework?
Is nothing.
1 through, I mean 6 through.
Uh-oh. I broke the lesson 4.3.
Ooh, awful.
Lesson 6.3 in Math Excel.